we shift our attention to what top sources are sharing with CNN News 18. Pakistan sending a final message to Afghan Taliban, says opt reconciliation or face regime change in Kabul. Pakistan also has asked Afghan Taliban to accept all demands and consider cooperation. Pakistan is now pushing Afghan Taliban for a peace deal. Top sources breaking down these details to CNN News 18. Manoj Gupta sharing this crucial piece of information, this message being sent out by Pakistan through Turkish mediators. Top sources telling us that Pakistan is now realigning ties with Taliban. And this is being looked at as an alternative strategy. Pakistan establishing contacts with anti-Taliban forces in and outside Afghanistan is another additional piece of information that we've just picked up. I do want to go across to Akanksha Swaroop, who joins us with more details. Akanksha, given the host of developments that have taken place in the recent past, how do you look at this message being sent out via Turkish mediators?
Right, these are inputs that have been brought to us by Security Affairs Editor Manoj Gupta. And Prithwin, what we can tell you is that now there's been a realignment of sorts by Islamabad when it comes to approaching the Afghan Taliban issue. What are they doing? So they are now approaching the democratic leaders who are also seeking refuge from Islamabad. That includes Ashraf Ghani. You also have Abdullah, Hamid Karzai. These are all democratic leaders of Afghanistan, and they have been also urging for elections. So now Pakistan, after the failed ceasefire talks remain, we all know that the ceasefire is currently in abeyance after 3 talks that failed through Turkish mediators, and we all know that Doha has also been playing a critical role. So over here what we are being told is that they've been trying to send out a very strategic message that either they should choose reconciliation or there is going to be a change of regime in Afghanistan. What are the conditions that they are posing as far as Afghan Taliban is concerned? They want handover of some very key TTP militants. They want the TTP activities to be controlled by Afghan Taliban. Now, Afghan Taliban is of the view that they cannot control TTP activities as long as they are emanating from Pakistan soil. They can only curb what's happening in Afghanistan, and that's what they have been, in fact, maintaining throughout. Let me quickly take you through the conditions and the demands that have been posed by Pakistan. Remember, the bone of contention was also that Pakistan was demanding written guarantees out of Afghanistan, which is something that Afghan Taliban regime had refused. So Pakistan has been demanding the control over TTP. More importantly, create a buffer zone as far as along the line of control is concerned, to be able to control the rising terrorism and militancy, to make Pak-Afghan border safer, and no escalation along Durand line. Now, we know that Pakistan's already held 3 talks with Afghan Taliban under Qatar and Turkish mediators. This has not really reached any kind of final agreement, but is Pakistan now going to destabilize the Afghan Taliban government, given that Afghan Taliban is not really aligning with the demands of Pakistan? More importantly, there's a strategic shift in the way Afghan Taliban is approaching New Delhi, and Pakistan is clearly extremely threatened by that. Not only was their foreign minister in the national capital last month, Amir Khan Muttaqi, we've just seen the commerce minister's departure as well, and this seems to have been a very fruitful meeting between Afghanistan and India, given that they've shut down the Torkham border. That's also impacted their trade significantly, and Pakistan is now, in fact, feeling the brunt. They've been feeling the brunt of the kind of losses in terms of trade and connectivity. Torkham border, remember, is a very key strategic trade route for Pakistan. So after the commerce minister reaching out to New Delhi, and of course the foreign minister as well, they are also trying to diversify their business interests, and Pakistan clearly is threatened by this development.
Okay, Akanksha, now while this message has been sent out by Pakistan to the leadership in Afghan Taliban, how realistic is this threat? Is it limited to posturing alone? Is that the strategy being adopted by Pakistan here? What's your assessment?
You know, it's important to highlight that they are also forming this new axis of resistance when it comes to Qatar, or even, say, seeking out Islamic support from countries like Turkey. So if that message is being sent via Turkish mediators, that it's of course a veiled threat that you choose reconciliation, and if you do not choose reconciliation, there's going to be a regime change. It's already in the works, given that they are reaching out to the democratic fronts. They also are very willing to host these democratic leaders, as I mentioned, Abdullah, Ashraf Ghani, Hamid Karzai, maybe even give them refuge in Islamabad. Is that a larger sort of preparation for a regime change? Can they in fact displace the Afghan Taliban regime? It doesn't seem so at the moment, but it is indeed a veiled threat.